Welcome to Let Me Pod to Ya. I'm Jacob. You can block me on Twitter at We Hate Jacob. I'm here with my co-host Demetri. You can find him on Twitter at Demetri Talks.
Yes, sir.
Our beer of the week this week is a non-alcoholic brew. Continued dry January. Athletic Brewing Run Wild IPA. So delish. Last one I have left. And only 65 calories, Demetri.
Healthy. Wow.
So, my question for you this week.
Yeah.
What did you think of the AEW ring apron?
All right. So as you know, I just took a peek at it a few moments ago, and I gotta say, bro, that shit was bad.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was bad.
That's very distracting.
So very interesting is you asked me this, and I literally had no clue because I haven't been online very much recently. So I had no clue that this happened. And this is my bare reaction, not seeing any reaction on the internet, not seeing anything anywhere. My reaction is, that is ugly. What the fuck are they doing? Why is this on the regular TV show? We've seen WWE do some pretty bad ads, especially recently. And I feel like the good part about those is they're typically relegated to a match or a segment or a specific pay-per-view or something. But this is just on television, for the whole show. This is what it looks like. That's what it was like for the whole. That's wild, brother.
So I can tell you that there was one thing that we did get out of it.
Oh,
the main event was commercial free, thanks to Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League.
All right, I've heard that game's bad, by the way, but
oh, really?
Yeah. I've only seen one person say it, so I haven't seen a bunch. So I mean,
it's not out yet. It releases on Feb 2nd.
Okay.
That's disappointing. I was actually planning on getting that game, and I don't get a lot of single player games anymore.
Hopefully it's good.
The last one that I bought was Gotham Knights, and it was absolute dog shit.
Oh yeah. I saw the stuff about that one.
I'm hoping this is better because this is from the studio that made the Arkham games, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully that one person was wrong then, because they said it was bad.
It looks interesting, but I'm going to wait and see what people say. Anyway, the other thing that we got out of this, or we didn't, but Tony Khan got out of this, is keeping his Warner Brothers Discovery overlords happy. And as we know, there's a lot going on in the space for media rights as contracts are running up.
Right.
There's lots of rumors that Raw is going to Amazon Prime. There are even more rumors that if Warner loses the NBA, which it looks like they're going to, that they are going to shift that money to Raw. Now, that doesn't mean, from all the reporting, that they won't continue their contract with AEW, which has one more year left on it. But I think Tony is trying to keep everybody at WB happy, and please keep both of my television shows, all three of my television shows.
Right.
And, hopefully not pick up WWE, or else AEW is going to be looking elsewhere. So I think that's part of this, is he's trying to keep his Warner Brother people happy. But
that makes sense. They're really ugly.
it looked really bad, very distracting. The white to the ring, just I
was like, oh, goddamn.
Yeah. Well, when we're not talking about video games and ring aprons, our format here is top of the mid, headlines, stocks risings, and stocks fallings. These can be wrestlers, storylines, whatever, to kick off conversations. And Demetri doesn't have a top of the mid.
Yeah, I didn't watch Raw, and normally I would give it top of the mid, but I didn't watch Raw, and the reigning top of the mid superstar, R-Truth, is on Raw, and I just don't feel it fitting for me to give out that award without even giving him a chance to win it, because he's.
Did you see what he did this week, though?
No, I didn't.
Oh, brother.
Would you say he would probably win top of the mid again?
If you had watched Raw, he 100% would be top of the mid. Okay. But since I'm giving the award,
yes,
this week I'm going to give it to Jinder Mahal, because he put on a very good show in the main event.
Good for him.
The main event, he made me, I knew what happened while I was watching it, but he still made me believe this man has a chance.
Yeah.
So, and I think that is the most that you can do. And
for sure.
Honestly, if they decided to have Gunther drop the Intercontinental belt, or let's say he relinquishes it to focus on the world title or something like that, and they decided to put Jinder Mahal in the mix for that belt, I think I could take it seriously.
Yeah, for sure.
If they wanted to go to a different type of heel champion, I could see it. I could see the vision. I don't think they will, but I think Jinder Mahal could definitely be on TV more than he has been.
He seems like a pro, like a pro's pro, like just
definitely
fucking good at it. Everything you could ask him to do, it feels like he could do it.
I mean, he didn't get released.
Yeah, exactly. He's just been chilling.
So let's talk about R-Truth, though, because the people will want to hear about R-Truth. His whole thing this week is Damian Priest going through the backstage and sees R-Truth with a rack of Judgment Day shirts that have R-Truth, like his version of the Judgment Day shirt. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's selling these shirts on the black market.
Oh, yeah.
And so Priest is like, you got to stop. No, like the rest of the gang's getting upset. And then Truth hands him a stack of bills. And he's like, that's your cut. He's like, I bought these wholesale and I'm selling them below retail. And I'm making bank.
Yo.
So as soon as the money hits Damian Priest's hand, he's like, he's like, you can keep doing this, but keep it quiet. The rest of the gang isn't happy about it. And Truth's like, well, they haven't got their cut yet. And he's like, and I also have a shirt for Tom and Nick Mysterio.
Oh, I love that he says Tom and Nick, man.
And then he's like, and I haven't been able to find Nick on Facebook. Is he okay? And Priest breaks a little bit, and he's like,
naturally,
whatever, man. And did you see the t-shirt that they have now available on the WWE shop of Tom and Nick Mysterio?
They got a Tom and Nick t-shirt. That's really funny.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
R-Truth is a fucking money printing machine.
I did. I sent it in the group chat, you bitch.
Did I respond to it?
No, but it was seen by 2 people, and you have sent messages in this group chat.
Well, I missed that one. My bad.
Well, here's the 3 amigos.
Oh, that's amazing.
R-Truth in the middle with his arm around Tom and Nick Mysterio.
I love that.
So yeah, that shirt is going to do absolute numbers.
Absolutely.
And then later on, he had a tag match with The Miz against Damian and Finn. And when he comes to the ring, he's trying to give Finn his cut and drops money all over the ring. So then he's like scooping it up and shoving it in Finn Balor's jacket pocket.
Oh my God.
And then he takes another roll and he gives them to Dominic. And he's like, there's your cut, Tom. And then JD McDonough is like, where's mine? And Truth's like, you ain't in the gang.
Yes, I would say. You ain't even in Judgment Day, dog.
So if you had watched Raw, you would have given it to R-Truth, but you didn't. So special, R-Truth segment, but I'm giving it to Jinder.
That's a good call. Shout out to Jinder.
So Demetri, what is your headline?
So I got a couple here. I'm gonna knock the quick one out the way real quick. The quick one that I wanted to add is that there's a WWE wrestler Penn State connection. Were you aware of this?
R-Truth's son plays for Penn State Abagnale or something.
I had no idea, bro. Interesting. Yeah. That's very interesting. Just scored his 1,000th point. 1,000th point.
Yep.
So that's pretty interesting. Knocked that one out the way because I was like, damn, what a cool tie-in. That's cool. I love R-Truth. But my big headline is, we're getting some news about WWE 2K24 coming soon. I think the date is the 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check.
That's what you said.
Okay.
That's what you told me.
All right. Yeah. All right. Cool. The 22nd. We're getting some, I think, news, probably the cover star. The Twitter account for the WWE game tweeted out a picture of like a referee shirt with the sleeves cut off, which would make one believe that they're adding special guest referees back to the game, which is exciting. And I love that, although it should have been already in the game because it was in the game before and they took it out and they put it back in. Did the old
it's a new
switcheroo.
feature. Yeah. You
But
take
anyway,
something out, you leave it off for 3 years, you can bill it as a new feature never before seen. Guest referees.
so this seems like that's gonna be in the game. That's exciting. But where I really wanted to get into things is, so I created a nice little list here on my fancy dancy little tablet of a bunch of cover stars that there could be, as well as a wish list that I'd like to see in the game. So I'm going to run through a couple names for cover stars, and we're going to see what you would think. I got like a list of probably like 4 of them that I think they would most likely be. Go ahead.
What did you think of 2K23 before we go into 24?
Good question. I don't think it was a bad game. There was a lot of stuff that I would like to see improved upon. And I wouldn't say it's in a weird place because I played a ton of WWE 2K22 for some reason, but then 2K23 came out and I didn't play much of it. And again, I don't think it was like worse by any means. I think that they just didn't make enough improvements for me to like feel like I really wanted to play it, because like I already got that itch out on 2K22 because everybody who plays the games knows that there was no 2K21 because 2K20 was so horrifically awful that they canceled 2K21 and made 2K22. So before that, the last good one was 2K19, which was a long time ago. So that's why my itch was scratched. I didn't play much of 2K23. I thought it was good, I would say.
I played one match in the demo and I went, okay. Yeah. That's all I wanted out of it. Yeah. If there had been like what we had talked about last year, if they had done any kind of connected franchise style situation, like where you could,
I'll get into it here.
Yeah.
I'll get into it.
That's what okay, cool. I wanted you to get your thoughts out on 23 first.
For sure. Yep. So those are my thoughts. So
cover stars.
So obviously it could be anybody. I made a little list here of men's and women cover stars that, could potentially be, let's see, last game was John Cena. The one before that was Rey Mysterio. The one before that wasn't
it the other way around? Wasn't Rey Mysterio last year?
No, Rey Mysterio was not last year, brother. Unless I'm capping. Nah, bro. Ain't no way. Nope. He's Googling it. He's searching it.
Oh, it was because they had the whole John Cena storyline that you could play through his career.
So yeah, it was John Cena, Rey Mysterio. Then there wasn't one before that. It was Bray Wyatt, I believe. Before that, AJ Styles. All right. Yeah. So here we are. So 2K24. I got a list here. Men's superstars I could see on the cover. Gunther would be very interesting. You don't think so?
Not happening.
All right, Gunther, Roman / Bloodline. Thoughts?
I could see that. Okay. I mean, the Bloodline was the story of 23. So if they wanted to look at kind of what was the big story of this last year in wrestling, Roman Reigns.
Okay.
If Cody? They do it, they should have him with both belts, though.
Oh, yeah, that would be sick. Cody?
I could see it, but I don't think it'll happen.
Logan Paul?
Absolutely not.
All right, here's a special one. I don't think they're going to go this route, but Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I don't think they will, but I could see it.
All right, got a few more here. Dom.
If they did Dom, it would be Judgment Day as a whole.
All right, that makes sense. They are pushing Judgment Day pretty hard, so I could see them, wanting to go that route. Last two I got for men's: Seth Rollins, LA Knight.
LA Knight, no. Seth Rollins, maybe. I think there's a big one that you're missing on the men's side.
Go ahead, spit it.
Randy Orton.
Oh, why didn't I not think of Randy Orton? He did just come back.
He wasn't really around last year.
Yeah.
But if they wanted to do the thing where they take the same exact game that they had last year and repackage it to a new one, you do Randy Orton and you have a Randy Orton legend killing mode.
They always do like a showcase mode. So that would make sense.
They could do that. I could see that happening.
That would make a lot of sense. Give him a cover now, because you don't know how long Randy's going to be here, because it was sort of a question if he'd even come back for this. So
there's always a chance that Randy gets inducted into the Hall of Fame this year too.
Yeah.
One other thing that I could see from a Cody Rhodes perspective is that they hold off on that until Cody finishes the story.
Yeah.
And then the showcase would be finish the story.
Ooh, that would print money, brother.
Exactly. So I think they'll wait on Cody Rhodes until they get to that point for him.
Yeah.
So if he does it this year, Cody Rhodes next year.
Yes, sir. So I got a list of women here as well. So the top of my list is just Damage Control, because they seem to be pushing Damage Control pretty hard. If they don't go Damage Control as a whole, if they're going to choose a single member, I think it would be obviously Io Sky at that point.
See, that's where I don't think it would happen, because I don't think they're giving Io specifically the push that personally I think she deserves. Okay. They're giving it more of a Damage Control Bailey story than an Io story. So that's I don't think they do that.
Okay. We got Damage Control, Rhea.
Yep. See, I think out of anybody in Judgment Day, Rhea could carry the cover herself.
People might buy the game just for the Ripley cover.
Yeah, and like what they could do is like one of those things where you have like a Rhea Ripley version and a Judgment Day version that's like a different tier of the release or something. I don't know. I could see that.
Yeah,
I think Rhea is the only individual in Judgment Day that could carry the whole cover.
Yeah, that would make a ton of sense. We got Bianca Belair. She's kind of been away for a little bit. I mean,
she does have the longest ever title reign for the SmackDown Women's title, which is now the Women's World title, I think. So could be. It was a historic year for her last year.
It was. And then the only other, because Damage Control just consists of so many women. So the only other woman I have on this list is Charlotte, which is an obvious one. And I guess I didn't mention Becky Lynch either, but Becky Lynch recently was like a focal point of a game. I believe she split the cover at one point recently, if I'm not mistaken. But
so I don't. With what you've said, I think I see Judgment Day / Bloodline being probably where they go with it. One of those two.
All right.
Likely. Let's hear your wish list.
Yeah. So wish list. That was perfect timing too. That was right at the end. Beautiful. Beautifully done. So my wish list for WWE 2K24. One of the things I want to see focused on this game is a focus on like brands and just competition in general. So whether that's like cross-brand competition or whatever, friend-to-friend competition, I think it needs to be a focus to like make competing against each other with stats, whatever have you, be important. So with brands, I think it would make a lot of sense, since they just brought GMs kind of back into the fold and kind of made it so where like SmackDown kind of has a little bit of identity and Raw has an identity. I think it makes sense to separate them more in the game as well, kind of similar to an old SmackDown versus Raw. Were you going to say something there?
Keep going.
Okay, cool. Yeah, kind of similar to an old SmackDown versus Raw. So I kind of split my wish list into little different categories here. So I got a category for improvements to GM mode, improvements to universe mode, improvements to my rise and my player, and then just improvements to the game as a whole. So I'll start off in my GM, which is something that I'm very interested in. So currently my GM, to me, feels very limiting, and it feels pretty bland. It's got like the building blocks there of a good mode, but it doesn't quite get me there. So for example, you can do multiplayer on GM mode, but you can't do it online. You can only do it local.
Which is so stupid.
It's incredibly dumb. So that right there knocks out the game mode for a lot of folks. Now, if you want to play it in single player, by all means, but I feel like the point of GM mode is to go and like compete against others. And when I'm not able to compete against my friends, it's certainly not as fun to just compete against the CPU.
I mean, the only reason that I have Madden from last year is to play connected franchise with our group of people.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only reason I have that game. I have not played a minute of Madden that's not in our connected franchise.
You know what? As a Madden guy and a football guy, I have also not done that. I've only played connected. So point proven right there. So a specific improvement I'd like to see made to GM mode, obviously, that we just said, I'd like to see multiplayer up to 4 players. So you can get 4 players in a game mode of GM, draft rosters out, and have at it. I would like to get rid of the roster size limit, because there's currently a really dumb size limit to where like the rosters are like really small, and it's even missing a few titles. I think there's no like women's tag team titles, and there's something else missing. Really weird.
Probably because they're between brands.
Yeah, true. There's just some weird missing titles in there. It's just like, if I'm going to have this mode, I want to have control over it. And if I want to add these titles, let me fucking add the titles. You know what I mean? Like, you're limited to like title, and then you can't add anymore. You can't, like, it's very limiting. And I don't like
create a fake title. Yeah. You know, who cares?
Facts. Exactly.
You can create everything in 2K games. I can't create a title.
So you can create one, but you can't, like, I think,
like, you have to replace it with one of the other ones?
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, you have like, there's like a certain, like a limit of singles titles you can have, a limit of like, they're limited. So you can't just like take, if you put one in, you're going to have to take something out, which is stupid.
Okay.
Exactly. So anyways, roster size limit, get rid of that. Something that's really interesting that is not in the game now. I would be interested to see in my GM mode, like a developmental system to where you're playing your my GM, right? You get through the entire season. Let's say it ends at WrestleMania. You start on the new season. I would like to have like tasks for that. And I would like to have like, meanwhile, the whole season's going on, computer generated wrestlers that are working out, right? And then we get like this crop of a few wrestlers. A couple of them have really big potential, good charisma, good stats. And you can choose to elevate them from wherever they're working, like a performance center or something, and bring them to the main roster. A way to keep the game fresh, introduce new custom faces, and kind of just create your own little world, which I think is important when you're playing these games. So like, it's obviously similar to if you're playing Madden, getting really excited because maybe your team's not performing the best, but you got the draft coming up and you got some promising young talent that can come out and help the team. Same thing with this.
I'm familiar with this process.
Right. I am very familiar with this process. I think something like that would work a lot.
Or on the other hand, too, like let's say you have a young and kind of raw tag team on your roster. Like let's say you have Tom and Nick Mysterio and you need them to get a little bit better, but you don't have the room to kind of keep putting them on your show or on pay-per-views. You can send them to the performance center to train, kind of like in FIFA. Like if you're doing a manager career, like you have a young player that you really like, you see potential there, but you need to send them to play a lot. So you send them on loan. So you send them out, they get a little better. You come back for your next season, you can see where they're at. And now you can start introducing them back into your own roster. Something like that would probably be helpful too.
Absolutely. So yeah, we just need some more like just some general depth to the mode. Like I said, it's got good building blocks, but the depth isn't there, and then the multiplayer aspect isn't there. If you at minimum add good like multiplayer in there, we'll at least give it a go. But if you add depth in there, we'll give it a go, and we'll probably be playing that shit pretty consistently. So last thing I added to the My GM list was just to take a look at the old My GM modes, like, because they did pretty good. There's a lot of features in there that are missing. There's like, you have a phone, other GMs like messaging you, talking shit. You get emails from wrestlers. You get emails, this and that. Shit like that, just to make it interactive, just makes it much more like believable and something you'd want to carry on rather than just like a bland interface. You're just kind of pushing buttons and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just feels more personal. Moving on quick to My Rise / My Player. Actually, you know what? We're going to hit universe mode first because I don't really play universe mode a lot. And the reason I don't play universe mode a lot is because they either need to get rid of it or make it fun because it's not. So I don't have a ton of suggestions for this. My biggest suggestion is custom storylines because that existed at one point in time. There was ability to essentially write out like storylines. You could download custom storylines, which then you could apply to like a wrestler or like a feud, and then they would play out. That shit is really cool. I don't understand why that doesn't exist in 2024. That would be just really sick and a way to really breathe life into a mode that needs it. And then just literally my only other bullet point here is that it's just really dry. Like universe mode, essentially, I think WWE thinks of it as their franchise mode, basically. Where you are controlling the WWE universe, you got the puppet strings, and you are just putting the show together like you're Triple H. And it's like a cool idea in theory, but you literally it's just like make the matches, you can play the matches, you can sim the matches, you move to next week, you make the matches, you can play the matches, you can sim the matches, you move to next week, and it's all over a really bland interface. And it's just like, I do not have fun sitting here pressing these buttons. It's just not fun. There's not enough.
It's Football Manager, but wrestling.
Yes.
And there's not enough depth in there to make that worthwhile. Okay.
Exactly. So that's my thoughts on that. Now, move on to the big one, which is My Rise, My Player. Something I'd really like to see some improvements made to. I think the idea of My Rise, especially in 2K22, because I played it, 2K22, I played it a good bit in there. It was cool. I enjoyed being able to make my own story and work my way up, get to the main roster, earn titles. Now, I think that was a great groundwork because I actually legitimately enjoyed the mode. There were some things that I think needed fixed. Like, for example, if you I won the US championship, and after I won the US championship, I was like all hyped because I was like, yeah, I got the title now. Next week I come out. Like, if it's not a part of that specific US title championship storyline that you basically engage with, it's almost like you don't, like, that doesn't exist. Like, that never happened. You don't even walk out with the championship in other matches. So it's just like the continuity is not really there. And that kind of broke it for me. So anyways,
it's like you get the US title and it's a checkbox, and now it's like, now you can go for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Exactly. It's just, I need some continuity. If I got the championship, let me hold it, let me see it when I come out to the ring, and let me keep it until I fucking lose it. Write something in there where I lose it. I don't know. But anyways, the biggest thing I want to see in My Rise or My Player, what have you, is, like we spoke before, competition. So it would be really great to add a multiplayer aspect to My Player / My Rise, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it My Player for the rest of the video, even though they call it My Rise.
Go for it.
So something that specifically I think is interesting is it is a 2K game. So draw from the other game that is doing so well, NBA 2K, doing incredible every year.
Yeah, let me buy some VC.
Let's not draw from that. But hey, if they bring that over, that would suck. But if you bring over the rest of the good shit, by all means, it would be an improvement. Something that would be cool is, so in NBA 2K, this is something we used to do, create our My Players, go to like the hub world, and we'd play what's called Rec, where we team up, play against other people, and that's essentially it. But it was a great way to compete, and it was really fun playing with friends doing that. I think something similar to that would be nice to add if you're going to keep it like a mostly single player mode, but with an additional multiplayer aspect where like we can play through the single player store. We can upgrade our My Players as much as we see fit, get them how we like them. And then maybe there's a hub world. It doesn't even have to be a hub world. We can just do it in the menus. It's fine with me too. Where you go, you meet up with friends and you go fight at a arena or something like that. You go there, you team up with your friends, you go on 1-on-1s, 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, whatever. You can just team up with your boys, go and just do fights over and over and over with other people who have their My Players. That would introduce like a whole game loop / mechanic where like it's just, I could spend so much time doing that. And right now that doesn't exist. It's basically like exhibition player game or like a quick match online and that's it. This is much more involved than that. And I would appreciate seeing something like that introduced into the game mode. Something else that we talked about a little bit is if they decide to go a little bit off the rails here, and instead focus way more on multiplayer. Something we'd like to see that we discussed in a previous podcast is something similar to like a franchise mode, except you play with your My Player. So it's like a season where you start off somewhere, you end at WrestleMania, and essentially the goal is here, collect titles, win as many matches as you can with your boys. So essentially you're going through the schedule. Let's say you start off at a performance center, you like work out, you get your stats up, you get drafted to brands, and where you get drafted at depends on how you did at the performance center. And then once you get drafted, obviously you're on the roster and you work, you start feuds, you hit pay-per-views, you get to fight with your friends, you earn titles. Let's say I win the Intercontinental Championship. I got bragging rights. I can talk my shit. I won the Intercontinental Championship. Jacob's over there trying to take it from me. I'm fucking undefeated, like 3 pay-per-views in a row. But let's say he like steals it from me at, I don't know, SummerSlam. That would be fucking sick if we could do something like that. But that does not exist yet, sadly. But that's something I think is a route that they could go down that would really bring a lot of folks that aren't just wrestling fans into it, because it's just like really interactive and it's a fun game. And it doesn't even rely on the WWE license to be fun, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean that if they had something like that, that would be a definite buy for me.
Absolutely.
I would be all in. And I know that, our group of friends that play games occasionally would be in on something like that.
For sure.
Because we have that competition between us. Like our favorite game modes across these games are connected franchise on Madden, doing a connected franchise on 2K where you can take over a team, do a fantasy draft, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And then you're not in the FIFA gang, but we play pro clubs as well. Like that's a team-based game, but you're still competing every match against other people.
Shoot, even
That's
Call of Duty,
fun.
man. Just like anything we play, it's just competition. There's just like doesn't feel like there's enough.
And I do appreciate the people who don't want to have that online competition experience. They want to be more grounded in a single player mode. You can have both.
Yes. And
it doesn't seem like it should be that hard to be able to create an online My Player story where you invite, up to 6 people or whatever is where it maxes out at.
Yep.
And then, I'm on SmackDown with Ed, you're on Raw with Toby, and Rick's at the Performance Center. Like, like that doesn't seem like that should be a problem to add in there. Like, can you just think about Survivor Series, man?
That'd be sick, brother.
Setting up a war games with like your boys on opposite sides.
Yeah.
Or you get a 3-on-1 with like bots involved with war game. Like it would be so fun. Like that would be a really good time.
It would be a good time. It'd be a fantastic fucking time. So WWE 2K, please make these additions. My last bullet point here, improvements to the game, just in general. One thing I've been begging for a long time that I don't think we're going to get, but I really want it. Custom entrance music.
Oh my God. So true. True.
I want it so bad. And every time I tweet about it, every time I say something about it, some freaking snotty brat responds and they go, they can't do it. What about the copyright? I'm just like, dog, that is literally false, my friend.
You can do it in the show.
You can do it in the show right now. A game that is out right now, you can do it. How do they get around it? It's obvious. You upload your own tracks to the game yourself. So they're not liable because it's your shit. And you can play it locally. And you could probably play it with your friends. Shit, we upload all sorts of logos and stuff to 2K. Why can't we also upload audio files? I don't understand what the difference is, because people can technically upload copyrighted images to the game. So
I mean, in 2K basketball, I stole the Montreal Expos logo.
Exactly. People do it all the time.
Made a beautiful Montreal team.
As long as I don't understand the issue. As long as it's user uploaded, user updated. Like if by any means, if somebody wants to risk getting banned or whatever because they want to upload something copywritten, fine. But let us do it. Like, come on. I just want to say there was a WWE game that had this feature in it. I had it. It was Raw 2 for the original Xbox. And the original Xbox was sick because you could burn discs to the hard drive. And then you could just pull from that and have your superstar come out. I had my guy coming out to Tony Yayo, Predicate Felon. It was amazing. But anyways, that is something I really want to see added. And along the same lines, I think user created Trons is a creation tool that should be utilized, because it's really annoying when you download somebody from the creation center, and like the detail and the character is amazing. Somebody went through and put all the moves perfectly correct, and it's like, damn, it's almost like RVD's really in this game, or Kurt Angle, or whoever didn't make the game that whoever created it put in there. And then you go and you get to see the entrance, and it's like generic Rock 5 with like some ridiculous Titantron that makes no sense. No. Okay. No. It is 2024. I can upload custom images and all that. Let me just upload custom videos. Let people upload custom videos so we can get custom Trons in there. That would really just breathe more life into the game. Last thing I want to say here is I want the ability to change controls, because that is a pain point for a lot of the old folks out there. All right. If I want to play with the new control system, by all means, I should be able to do that. But there should be an option where I could revert back to like an old control system to where it's similar to the older games. And like, I don't think that's that hard of a thing to do. Madden has multiple different control schemes. You can throw it in there. You can go to like a really super simplified mode. It's just a way to make the game more arcadey rather than simulation, because arcade, I think, is really fun when it comes to WWE games.
You can fully customize your controller in FIFA, because when I learned to play FIFA on like FIFA 10, I think, I learned on the wrong controls. Like the way that it was preset for my brother was just his preference.
Yeah.
So I have always had shoot and pass opposite.
Well, if they ever take that out,
standing
bro,
tackle and slide tackle. Oh, I've tried to go back and like learn the real way. Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on this? Because I do need to move us on.
Yeah, no. That's it. That is literally the end. I powered through. We're through it.
Okay. All right. We're going to go straight to Bloodline Cinematic Universe. It's going to be quick. Nick Aldis keep making life difficult for the Bloodline. He's making Paul Heyman upset. He's making Jimmy upset. I don't know how much of this you saw, Demetri, but Jimmy going, "I'm worried, OG."
Yeah, I saw that.
Had me rolling. And his new t-shirt, like, you have the Jey Uso like yeet shirt, and then like the no word yeet, and now we have no yeet.
I love that he says it now. Like he just
he's getting around Roman's don't say yeet rule by going. Yeet. Someone asked him a question, he's like, "No yeet." Okay.
He's really fucking funny.
He is. Jimmy and Solo had a handicap match against Roman's opponents at the Rumble.
Yeah.
They beat up Randy beforehand. He had to go to the back because he was hurt. AJ and LA Knight, they were having a can they get along? Will they? Won't they? A little something going on, and they did get along to win. And Randy's music hits. He comes out. Everybody hits their finisher on Jimmy, and 1, 2, 3, the faces win.
Simple enough.
So either Roman needs to make some friends or show up to work.
I don't see him making any friends, bud.
I don't see him showing up to work.
Nothing's gonna happen.
First stock rising. This is a quick one. Hot witches are back.
Yeah, buddy.
Too bad they're taking an L.
It's a goddamn shame, bro. It's a goddamn shame.
Yeah, when that popped up on SmackDown that they're getting a tag team title shot, I was hype.
Yeah, it's about time they're back.
We've been banging that drum. So where are they? Because they are good wrestlers. They've got a good gimmick, and they are very sports entertaining in a sports entertainment company.
Yep.
And they've been gone. So I'm very happy that they're going to be on SmackDown this week.
Me too.
Your first stock rising.
I'm just, I've said this before, but every week I feel like I get a little bit more invested into this Damage Control Bailey story. Bailey took an L this week. And yeah, it was everybody in that group is just really great at making interesting facial expressions. So like Bailey's out there trying to win, and like there was a point where Bianca's outside the ring, right? She's on the ground, and then they all are like, not us, huh? Not us.
But also Bailey's like distracting the referee and then sees they're not beating up Bianca. So she like leans over and she's like,
this shit's so funny.
And then the ref's like, wait, what are you, hey, get away from her out there. And Bailey's like, come on, God, like,
what the fuck are y'all doing?
We're the heels.
Yep. And so, yeah, they all made really funny facial expressions. Asuka, especially, like she's out there just making the most ridiculous faces. And I love it. Go ahead. You look like you're going to say something.
You know the video of John Cena taking off his belt to like.
No, maybe
he takes off his belt slowly, like he's going to start whipping someone with his belt.
Oh no, I am unaware of this.
Jesus Christ. If you saw it, you'd know it. Probably. Everybody listening is like, this bozo. Demetri added in post.
There you go.
That is what's going to happen to Bailey when she gets knocked out of the Rumble.
And
we're going to do Rumble hot takes next week, but I'll give you one right now for free.
Oh, Sasha Banks is coming back?
No. People have been asking Dakota, hey, when's your clear date? Do you know when your clear date is? And she's like, I don't know when my clear date is. My knee feels good. I don't know when I'm cleared. Who knows when I could pop up? She's popping up in the Rumble and she's eliminating Bailey. That is one of my hot takes that you have now for free.
That'd be very interesting.
That is going to be the turning point of Bailey versus the Judgment Day. Or not Judgment Day. Damage Control. SmackDown Judgment Day.
And did you see Dakota Kai like gaslight Bailey after the match? That was fucking hilarious and so mean. I actually feel so bad for Bailey. I actually feel so bad for her right now because she is trying her hardest, and that group is just like, don't fuck with this bitch. No way, no way.
Yeah, she's from the wrong time zone.
Yep, no thanks.
Your next stock rising.
Stock rising. Did you see the video of Grayson Waller on TV?
I did. I didn't vibe with it as much as other people did.
I just thought it was funny, man. I love it. I love when wrestlers, somebody says some bullshit about it being fake, and then they get all butthurt about it and want to fight somebody. I love that. I love it. Protect the business. Grayson was protecting the business, doing his job as a goddamn heel. I love it. He's slimy. Go ahead.
And LA Knight's just back there like,
yeah, he's the face, man. He can't be up in there acting a fool. But Grayson Waller up there, he's like, I'm standing on business, son. I'm standing on business. This shit ain't fake. I'm gonna punch you in the jaw, son. That's essentially what he said.
That is one of the things, like, as I've more publicly to my family revealed that I watch wrestling.
Yeah.
They're like, but it's fake. And I'm like, just
Oh,
watch it. Like,
yeah.
I would just put on like a Samoa Joe match, and I'm like, is this fake? Because this man is getting beat to shit right now.
Mhm.
Like, the ending is predetermined.
Yes.
Let me watch my soap opera with fighting.
Exactly.
It's okay.
That's a great word to use, because I like to say, because it's not fake. People get hurt all the time. It's predetermined and it's choreographed, but it's not fake. You can get hurt out there. It's not like they're jumping around on a mattress, man. That is like wood covered
Seth
by.
Rollins was at Fastlane, but we'll leave that one out. But yeah, I mean, like, there are certain wrestlers that do certain things that kind of drive me crazy.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I can't remember which guy it is, but they always talk about their MMA background, and they would do these like fake punches that look really bad.
Oh, the Shane McMahon effect.
Yes. Yeah, and they're like, my mic's the op, and it's like, you can tell they're stopping like a full 6 inches away, and it's like,
that's bad. Yeah,
come on, brother. Like, there are some people who can kind of sell the impact better than others.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, like, sometimes you watch it and you're like,
yeah, for sure.
But a lot of the time you're like, he took 2 muscle busters, like, he's wrapped up. Like,
last thing I want to say about it being fake, as people say, is it's just like, it frustrates me when people feel the need to even say it, because I'm like, I mean, you think I think that this is like a UFC fight? Do you think I actually think that, as a grown, like, I'm about to be 28 years old? You think I actually think that? I am well aware. I've been well aware for a long time, like, since I was little watching it. Like, I knew, but like, doesn't change that I still enjoy it. You know, superheroes aren't real. You still enjoy the movies.
And for me, like, I do not enjoy boxing or UFC. Like, that is not for me. Like, I don't want to see people like actually trying to hurt people. That is not a pleasant thing for me. I do not get any joy from that. If that's your vibe, good for you. Doesn't work for me. I know a lot of people that love boxing. Not my cup of tea. This is just fun. Like, I can tune in, I can tune out. Like, I saw a tweet the other day from someone that hadn't watched wrestling in a while, and they tweeted, they're like, so I haven't watched in like a month. Why does Bryan Danielson have an eye patch? You know, and like, that's because of a real injury. He broke his orbital bone. But then, like, it became this whole thing that, like, Brian's eyes fucked up, so he kept the eye patch on a little longer than he needed to. So you tune out for a little bit, and you're like,
very visual, by the way.
Bryan Danielson has an eye patch now. Okay, sure. Right. Like, you know, it's just have fun with it. Just let it be fun.
Yes,
it's okay.
Please.
It's okay. My stock rising was the main event of Dynamite last night. It was a very good booking.
Wait. Before you get deep into this, I just want to say I really loved his little promo in the snow with the pizza.
Yeah, especially at the end, he's like, and by the way, who the fuck am I?
Yeah, that was sick.
Like, I like that they roped that in to some stuff here.
But go ahead.
And they've been letting Hook do some pre-recorded promos, which I think is really good, because we're getting to this point. Okay, he's 29-1. We know he's a good wrestler. We know he can go in the ring, but can he talk? And there have been a lot of people, me included, that have thought, if you're going to be pushing Hook and you're going to have him on main TV, not Rampage, not Collision, you're putting him on Dynamite. Maybe for Hook segments, Taz needs to leave the desk and go manage his boy. It's worked right in because, I mean, Taz has managed many a folk.
Yeah.
And it's his own child. So you can do it very easily. But if Hook's going to start talking, and he can cut some promos like that, and let's see if he can start doing some live. But it was very good. Very good. They booked this match perfectly. Samoa Joe's first title defense. He won. It was harder than he thought it was going to be, because he thought he was just going to stomp out Hook. And Hook was taking a beating, kicking out on late twos. He gets does that, fire up thing, He hits Samoa Joe with a T-bone suplex. He hits him with another German. And like watching fucking Hook suplex Samoa Joe is insane, bro. The crowd is going absolutely bonkers for it too. And then Samoa Joe, he's had enough. He's like, I'm not getting suplexed one more time. So he clubs Hook down, gets him up, puts him in the muscle buster position, drops him down, cover, one, kick out. And Samoa Joe's face is like, he kicked out of my fucking muscle buster at one?
Uh-huh.
Great booking.
Yeah, sounds like they made him look really strong.
They made Hook look strong, and they made Samoa Joe look strong of like going through his whole moveset, finished the match by choking him out, no tap, but like the completely choked him out, passed out thing.
Mad strong, man.
So they made Hook look really strong as a challenger. And then they did this thing with Samoa Joe afterwards where he's kind of has his look on his face like, that was harder than I thought. That's what it should be. Yeah. It should be hard to defend the world title. And that's important. They need to build this title back up to not be a sports entertainment title. This is AEW. This is All Elite Wrestling. So they need to get back to that. And I think they're on the right path with Samoa Joe and Hook.
You got me excited about this. This sounds like a good match, bro.
Commercial free, thanks to Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. I have a couple quick hits here. I like the little vignette they did with Butch and his big strong boy. I can't remember his name on SmackDown. But Book's like, the Brawling Brutes are gone. My friends are gone. And Tyler Bate, is that his name? That's big strong boy. He's like, you and me tagging together. I saw that twinkle in your eye. You've got to get back to British strong style. Get back to the name you made for yourself in Blackpool. Get back to the name that made you in this company.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. And then it kind of ends with Butch looking longingly into the camera. I think Pete Dunne is back soon.
I love that Triple H has basically reversed all of Vince McMahon's stupid name decisions.
Oh, he's like, this is so dumb. He's like, I got to do this slowly. I have to make it make sense. He's like, I got to be creative. But yeah, it's
thank
good
God.
Stuff.
Yeah.
All caps Butch never worked.
No.
Everyone was like, this guy was great on NXT as Pete Dunne. Why would you change it? Next quick hit. Some of the WWE releases seem to be having a lot of fun. Dana Brooke popped up in TNA as Timu Tony Storm.
Timu Tony Storm. Hold on. You thought I was just going to let that go? Damn. You didn't have to do that. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Come on. Did you see her?
Oh my God. I did see her. I get it. It's just damn. I was not expecting that. Jesus. All right.
Anyway, Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, has popped up in New Japan Pro Wrestling and in TNA. He put out a little video on his Twitter. He's changed his name on Twitter to something Nemeth, no longer Heel Ziggler on the twits. He said, he's like, I'm going to bounce around on the indies for a while, and I'm going to get back to why I love this business. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to wrestle people I want to wrestle. Good for you.
Yep.
I hope you have a great time because you look fucking fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Mustafa Ali is everywhere. He is selling out shows. He is main eventing shows. He is going to be in his hometown, Chicago, for a big event for one of the indies. And I'm really happy for him. Like, he seems to be like having a very good time bouncing around on his campaign, Ali 2024. So I'm happy for him too. Last quick hit. Tony Storm wants to sock Deonna Purrazzo right in the box.
She said this?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Deonna Purrazzo had a match on Dynamite last night against Anna Jay. Match was fine. Tony Storm on commentary. Tony Schiavone was not there. He's sick, so they had Ian Riccaboni fill in. Tony Storm sits down Demetri. She's like, Tony Schiavone, you look so wonderful with this good haircut and a shaved face and that awful earring is gone. Completely different person.
Oh, shit.
And then at one point during the match, she's feeding Ian Riccaboni macaroons.
Interesting.
Yep. And then she has Luther pick her up, and she's like, she keeps calling Deonna Pizarro Donna Palazzo or something. And is tired of the disrespect from Donna. And she said, and I'm going to suck you right in the box.
Oh, my goodness.
Has Luther take her away.
Love it. She's so great at this character. It seems like she just has so much fun, and I feel it.
Exactly. All right, 5 minutes left. We gotta not push the mic away. Quick stocks falling. Do you have anything? Anything you want to stocks fall?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Mr. Positive.
Mr. Positive over here, baby.
Drew McIntyre is basically on Raw going to everybody, please feud with me. Please have a feud with me. And like, I know they're trying to like build these inner storylines for the Royal Rumble, but like, I was a little bit like, all right, Drew, you keep coming out and interrupting people on the opening segment of Raw. Do something else. You lost your title match. You're not winning the Rumble.
Whoa,
Sorry,
whoa, hey, don't hate on my boy Drew McIntyre. I love saying his name. It's so much fun.
And my last stock falling, injuries again. I have still not seen an update about Seth's knee.
This is the one thing I saw from Raw. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. And WWE social media said that we would likely know a little bit more Wednesday or Thursday. Well, dear listener, it is Thursday at 6:17 p.m. We do not know more. That's probably bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think Seth Rollins did some damage. I hope he did not, because this run has been so good and he deserves to main event WrestleMania with this belt. So if it is some kind of injury, I hope it's something they can work around until Mania, because Seth Rollins has been great. He's been the perfect choice to inaugurate this belt. And I'm really hoping that we get good news about that soon. Other bad knee news, Cora Jade tore her ACL again.
That sucks so bad, dude. That sucks so bad. Yeah.
I feel so bad for her because she was just coming back.
Yeah.
And it just seems like the injury bug is biting all over right now. So thoughts with these folks, and I hope that, you know, we get some people back from injury soon, and that people's knees start being good.
Yeah. For real, take my knees. Actually, don't take my knees, but like
that, you know, that fake wrestling, Demetri.
I know,
can't believe people are tearing their ACL with all this fake shit.
How's that even possible?
I know.
They must have fake tore it.
Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I actually just wanted to add, since we were talking about that injury with Seth Rollins, I was listening to a bald dude who does this. Do you know who I'm talking about? He's a YouTuber. No, he's a YouTuber. I'll think of it and put it in later. But anyways, he was talking about how this could have, what's up?
Fix it in post.
Fix it in post. He was talking about how this injury kind of really, like, obviously it really sucks, but like creatively, like it really sucks, because with Seth Rollins out of the picture, it really just throws off like so much, because so much was on his shoulders when you think about it. Because, like, you know, he held the title for so long. They were clearly working towards a story here. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins was probably going to happen at a big show here. And now that we don't have, if it's as bad as it seems, if we don't have Seth Rollins, CM Punk, obviously that throws the World Heavyweight title into kind of a whirlwind. It throws CM Punk into kind of no man's land. They're going to have to figure something out there. It's just like the creative plans. It really just is like a domino effect. And it's going to, I feel like that really sucks for the creative team. They probably had some cool stuff written out. And if it is as bad as it seems, they're really going to have to do some work to rewrite some shit and cook something up. They don't have a shortage of people now by any means. They got a lot of talent. But it just sucks that we had these stories cooking that might be put on the back burner for a while.
If Rollins is out, I think what they do is I think that basically paves the plan for what you do at Elimination Chamber. There is no holder. You put 6 men in there. Whoever wins gets the title. I think that's what you do after that. That's how you finish that story, is the belt's up for grabs. Whatever we were planning for Elimination Chamber, Intercontinental, or US title, because don't not going to be Romans. I think that's where you go from there if this is worst case scenario.
Damn shame, bro.
Damn. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube at Let Me Pod to Ya. You can follow Demetri at Demetri Talks. You can find me at We Hate Jacob. That's hate with an 8. Please give us a review on your chosen podcast platform. We're on every major network. Have a great week, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Ring that bell. All the things.